Hey, what up YouTube? Plumpy Man here again. This is just a little follow-up video, I guess part 2. It was, I went ahead and mounted them on my AR, but they're actually pretty solid. They don't wiggle. They mounted solider than I thought. I guess it was just the old set or whatever, the older sets that was having problems. I will say this, they don't use an Allen screw. They use this weird thing. Just luckily I had a set of them. It's like a star. I don't know if you can get that to focus or not, but I went out and grabbed my set of Allen screw or Allen head T-handled hex sets, but that didn't work, and I was like, huh, and I got to looking at the screw, and the screw base itself, I don't think I can get it to focus. Oh, maybe. Is Starhead. I don't know what you actually call them, honestly, but I had a set on the back porch. They got on there. They actually, if you can hear, they go halfway, and then they're pretty solid. They don't. There's no give. The only reason it's even giving at all is because it's sitting on my freaking bed, but they actually have some a really strong snap to them. You're not gonna knock them down, and they don't wiggle. I know I had to freaking I tried to just tighten them down first, and that didn't work. So I loosened the bolt that goes in here, and I put some Loctite on it. And then what I did was I right here in the rail, but back here, I got it snug, and then I pushed back as hard as I could, and then got it to tighten, and it was still real loose. I mean, it would wiggle, and then I just pressed back as hard as I could again, and torqued it down, and it took all the, like 90% of the play out. Still had a little, and then I pretty much torqued it down enough that I thought I was going to strip the head out, and I didn't want to go too much harder. But I made sure to apply a lot of pressure towards, and push a lot real hard on the, like this with my thumb, and tighten as hard as I could this way, and it just locked up. And I'm gonna leave it set over the period of the day, I guess, and let that Loctite take a hold. But honestly, they don't look too bad, to tell you the honest truth. I don't think. I looked through it a second ago through the rear sight and looking at the front fixed post sight. It didn't look that bad. I know the aperture back here, the circle that you look through, is really thin. I mean, it's really thin, thinner than I've ever seen, which is weird. But I did read some reviews where they said a lot of guys having, since this is like a short base on the rear sight itself, you have to drop the front sight down pretty low to get it to work right or whatever. But I obviously haven't shot it yet, but there it is. I mean, it doesn't look too bad, honestly, on the gun itself. Looks pretty good, I think. It's got the main aperture, and then the fine aperture for longer distance, like 200-300 yards. I don't plan on sighting it in more than 100 yards where I shoot anyway, so I usually shoot about 100-150 yards out there. But on this side, I will say, I don't know why it's like that. I don't really care, but you can see the shiny on where the screw itself is right here. I don't really mind about that, but there's no there is no marks telling you right or left or which way to go when you sight it in, which you should know that anyway if you're going to go sight in an AR. But just for like someone that's buying them and doesn't know anything, it would be kind of weird, I guess. But it does have the hash marks in the back. Hopefully I can get that to, yeah. It's where you can sight it. I mean, you just use I guess you could use a dime or a straight screwdriver or something. Twist your aperture that way. But yeah, it went on there pretty tight. It's snug as a bug, man. Further up later on, I'll let you know what it's doing. Thanks, guys.